Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Geronimo Draws. In this episode, I would like to discuss The Calling of St. Matthew by Caravaggio. In 1599, Caravaggio was commissioned to adorn the walls of the Contarelli Chapel in San Luigi dei Francesi with his paintings. The placement of these works ensured publicity and visibility, lending the painter status and prestige within the highly competitive Roman art market. Each painting depicts one of three scenes from the life of St. Matthew, apostle of Jesus Christ, and one of the four gospel writers. The Calling of St. Matthew is the first in the triplicate, hanging on the left side of the wall. The scene is depicted succinctly in a similar manner to the passages describing this moment in Matthew, Mark, and Luke's Gospels. Quote, "As Jesus passed on from there, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax collector's booth. Jesus said to him, 'Follow me,' and Matthew rose up and followed him." End quote. What's remarkable about this passage is Matthew's immediate submission to his Savior. Matthew was a publican, or publicanus in Latin, one who sold out his own people and collected taxes for the invader, retaining for himself a fairly large percentage. Understandably, publicans were held in contempt by their fellow men. Yet Matthew, with wealth, power, and the legal authority of the Roman government behind him, accepted a life of poverty and persecution. Caravaggio chooses to condense the biblical narrative and focus on the precise moment that Matthew is called by Jesus. In the left half of the painting, we see the bearded Matthew seated at a table with his colleagues. They are counting the coins at the end of the table in a gloomy, sparsely furnished house or tavern. On the right, we see Christ accompanied by St. Peter. Christ points at Matthew with his right arm extended. Peter repeats the pointing gesture, all to guide the viewer's eye across the painting. Matthew looks directly at the new arrivals and, with a gesture at his left hand, relates the summons unmistakably to himself. But we see that this is not an easy transition for Matthew. If we look closely, he's caught between two worlds. One hand points to himself, while the other grips the money. The other figures at the end of the table are so consumed with the trade, they are oblivious to the fact that the divine has just entered their space. The most powerful element of the painting is the lighting. Flooding in from a window outside of the composition, the light juxtaposes the darkness surrounding the scene, emphasizing the spiritual significance of the moment, illustrating Christ as the light of the world, as the Christian gospel state. Jesus' hand gesture also harkens back to God's gesture on Michelangelo's Sistine ceiling, as he gives life to Adam, further emphasizing Jesus giving new life to Matthew. The Calling of St. Matthew depicts the apostles' encounter with Christ in a manner that occurs in the life of every Christian. The divine and eternal nature of the message is stressed for not just the audience of Caravaggio's time, but for generations to follow. Thank you for watching.